Hello, Appleton North students and parents. My name is Paul Hermes, Associate Principal of Curriculum and Instruction. This video is an extension of our previous video where we describe some of the adjustments we're making to virtual learning. This particular video is going to help describe, for those who would like it, a greater detail and explanation as to how to better time manage virtual learning. You saw from our previous video, there were four main themes that arrived from our feedback from all of you. And this particular video wants to focus on number 4, trying to give you some more details specifically on how to manage your time and your workload. Get into the specifics of the video we have for you today. I wanted to say two things. First of all, I want to speak directly from our hearts here at Appleton North. We are committed to helping you in every way we can so that we all can be successful in virtual learning. We are willing to meet you more than halfway. And without sounding like I'm lecturing you or saying that you're doing something wrong, I also ask that you are honest with yourself around how you've been using your time in this. So please take this from the position of offering help, but also be open and honest with yourself if you've been doing what you're supposed to be doing. The second thing I want to say is the following video here is not supposed to be exactly how this is going to be. We're trying to provide some general information or general estimation for how the week might work, targets that we're going to try to stick to. Can't say that every day and every time is going to be exactly this, but this generally should help you with understanding how to manage your time during the school week. When you look at a school week overall, we would estimate that for every class that you take, you should anticipate spending somewhere between 3 and 3.5 hours during the week on any particular class, or 180 to 210 minutes per class. If you're enrolled in any AP classes, that number is greater. That's part of the nature of being in an AP college class. For an AP class, we would anticipate somewhere between 240 and 300 minutes per class. Now again, in either situation, these are estimations, but these would be generally numbers that we would expect as a school and you should expect to have as a student. So what I'm going to do next is walk you through how this actually plays out from a class perspective. So for our example, we're going to target 4th hour as our class. And so for the week, I should anticipate somewhere, again, 4th hour is not an AP class, that I'm going to spend somewhere between 180 and 210 minutes on 4th hour for any given school week. Now that may sound like a lot. However, of that 180 to 210 minutes, we would also count within that is the time you're setting aside for that class to actually run. So when you consider that 4th hour meets twice a week for 65 minutes, that's 130 minutes of class time that would be part of that estimation of 180 to 210 minutes. So again, in the other video, we talked about asynchronous learning, that dedicating that time for that class. So if you do that, that's already 130 of the 180 to 210 minutes for that class. Meaning that after you take away the time that you're attending that class, for the entire week, we're estimating that you'd have somewhere between 50 and 80 minutes of outside of the scheduled 4th hour class of work time for 4th hour. Now 4th hour only meets Mondays and Thursdays. So when you look at the off days or the days of the week that you don't have 4th hour scheduled, so in this example, Tuesdays and Fridays, we would estimate that you probably can anticipate having somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes worth of work per day, Tuesday and Friday, on 4th hour. We're trying to keep that workload pretty minimal on those off days because we understand that you also have other classes running on those days. So 10 to 15 minutes per day on 4th hour. So now if you consider having those times on Tuesdays and Fridays, we're down to a half an hour to 50 minutes worth of work. Wednesdays, you have all day scheduled for you to work on coursework and to connect with your teachers for any additional support that you may need. If you anticipate, we are planning for roughly each class on a Wednesday would have 30 to 50 minutes worth of work to do per class on Wednesdays. So if you look at our total, that takes up our 180 to 210 minutes. And it's not counting the times that you have every day of the week, the student support time, the hour before school and the hour after school, of which if you count that as part of your school day, which it is, you do have ample time to get your coursework done within those times. That's also not considering your scheduled lunch that you have within your course schedule, which almost every one of you have. You have a scheduled lunch in a normal school year of a 4th, 5th, or 6th hour. So that would be automatically 65 minutes worth of time during the school week where you could work on any of that coursework. It's also not counting any study hall or privilege or release that you have in your schedule. So you might ask, well, okay, what's your point? My point is that we're not saying that this is easy. We're not saying that you shouldn't have to do any work during the course of the school week. We still are going to school and we're still learning and growing together. It's still our top priority and it's still really important. But what we're trying to say in this video is that if you think of your week in these segments and you can anticipate how much time you should have for each one of your classes, and you are diligent about taking advantage in a good way, the times that you do have built in your schedule, you can do this. There is time within your school day, and we haven't really even talked about at night or any weekend time. So if all of us are extra purposeful in making sure that we're setting aside that time when our classes are running and working during that time, scheduling some times on those other periods to finish the outside of the coursework, this is very doable for all of us. We hope that this video has been helpful. We hope that our explanation of time that you might have to dedicate for your course on a daily basis helps you to kind of wrap your head around how you might be able to do this better. Hope this helps. Have a great day, Appleton North.